This one originates in the Scottish borders.
The Tale of Tam Lin. Young Janet was bored in her father's home. She longed for an exciting adventure. She would stare out the window for hours on end, over forests and valleys, safe and secure. But Janet was tired of safe and secure, so she set out one day to the forest. Carter Hall was well known for its ghost and its rose bushes, purest and rarest. She wandered the woods till she came upon one, a beautiful rose bush, the purest of reds. In a grotto, all shaded and cool, Janet spotted and plucked a rose with 2 heads. Then appeared Tam Lin, the ghast of these woods, in the shades of this grotto so bright, asking Janet, "Why would you take a rose from my bush?" and causing her a fright. Janet fell back from the beautiful man, with the rose still clasped in her hand, but wasn't taken aback by this reproach, for she knew her father owned this land. "This is not your rose bush, sir stranger, so I can take any rose that I please." Tam Lin was fascinated by this girl, unafraid of the ghost among the trees. They talked long into the evening, until Janet had to hurry home, so she came back early the next morning, and throughout the forest they would roam. Carter Hall was beautiful and varied, with flowers that bloomed the whole year round. Tam Lin and Janet explored every spot, and discovered such wonders that had never been found. As they fell in love with the forest there, they fell in love with each other too. But Tam Lin worried for their futures, as he did not know what to do. Janet was happy as she'd ever been, no longer feeling locked up in her home, and at last asked Tam Lin to marry her, so that they'd never again be alone. "Janet, you know that I love you so much that I can barely stand it. But I've been keeping secrets from you. I must tell you why I cannot commit. I did not start my life as a fairy. I was once a mortal like you. I fell off my horse in these very woods, into the lap of the fairy queen too. She claimed me as a member of her court, and I've haunted these woods ever since, and so I still belong to her, you see." He finished his tale with a wince. But Janet was canny and thought of a plan, so she laid in wait in the woods that night. When the fairies' procession skipped through, she leapt up and tackled Tam Lin with all her might. The fairies were shocked by her bold display, and the queen called a halt to their dancing. She drew herself up and approached the pair, a woman both frightening and entrancing. She turned Tam Lin into a massive bear. Janet hung on with all of her strength. She turned Tam Lin into a curling snake. Janet held on to his squirming length. She turned Tam Lin into a snarling wolf, and Janet's hold could not be deterred. She turned Tam Lin into a burning coal, but Janet knew he could never hurt her. She dumped him gently into the well to stop the consuming spread of flames, and the queen turned him back into a man, and let Tam Lin go again, unclaimed. Janet and Tam Lin escaped the dark woods, and went together to her father. They asked to marry immediately, and from then on they were always together. The end.